Hi guys, Matt V's Movies back for another video, and today it's another Matt's Chats. So yeah, I've just been just thinking about something in the last couple of hours, and I thought, why not let's just chat about it. Something I've been sort of investigating, having a look at, and this mainly video is for people who are thinking about getting into 4K. I mean, it'd be helpful to existing collectors as well. Just a little bit of advice, my sort of thoughts, and again, this is only my opinion. I'm not saying I'm an expert in any of this sort of thing, but yeah, just doing sort of reading of material and watching videos. And really the subject is about 4K transfers. Are they always worth upgrading? So we're going to chat today about this on the channel. So welcome back. So yeah, reason for me doing this video is I've been interested in the recent 4K upgrade of Point Break, the 1990 film starring, or 91 I think it was, starring Keanu Reeves and Gary Busey and Patrick Swayze. Fantastic action film. I do have the original Blu-ray steelbook. I believe it was a Zavvi exclusive. And yeah, I really enjoy the film. It's all about surfing, and very young sort of Keanu Reeves in this role, but a really good action film. Anyway, recently, I think it was this year, Kino Lorber, I believe, in the US, brought out a 4K transfer of it. I think it was Kino Lorber, I might be wrong. Anyway, one of the American distributors over there. And then we just recently, in the last month or so, have received the 4K transfer over here, and also a Blu-ray remaster. Now, it's not a remaster from the original negative, but it is from what they call an interpositive. So that is part of the film process. I'm not technical on all of these things, but they've used this interpositive to create a brand new master. So essentially what is on the Blu-ray disc has then been transferred onto the 4K disc and then given HDR implementation, whether that be HDR10 or Dolby Atmos. And I think on that particular edition there is a Dolby Atmos HDR. Anyway, yeah, the original Blu-ray, I think it came out in 2008 or something like that. It's not the best picture quality. It's still good. But I've been considering upgrading it. So I watched some reviews on the 4K, read some articles. And whilst it's much better than that original 2008 Blu-ray, I've also heard that it's not like a huge leap, which you then start considering, okay, well, if it's not a huge leap, why are they charging almost double the amount for the remastered Blu-ray compared to the 4K? And I'm essentially talking about, it's a collector's edition, which at the moment it's on Amazon for $24.99 for the 4K, which comes with a Blu-ray. It comes with a poster and 4 art cards. Nice artwork, everything. Yeah, very, nice looking release. The remastered Blu-ray, which this 4K will be based upon, is currently retailing at $9.99, so less than half price. I started to do a little bit of research into it, and there's no Atmos on the 4K or DTSX. All you're really getting is that HDR implementation. Now, again, it depends on your setup. Now with me, I do have a projector which upscales Blu-ray content to near 4K, not perfectly, but you know, it's pretty good. And it also has a setting on it which will give you implemented HDR, so an HDR effect. So I've decided to go the Blu-ray route, and that will be coming shortly. So I will give you my thoughts on it. I'll probably do a comparison between the old Blu-ray and the new Blu-ray and see what it looks like upscaled. And I've got a feeling there's probably not going to be a huge amount of difference between that and a 4K disc. But certainly in terms of price, there's a huge difference there. And then it starts leading on to other things, and I've experienced this in the past with certain other releases. One being this release, which is Red Sonja. Now again, this was a title came out from Studio Canal, and what they did was they did a brand new restoration. So they brought out the Blu-ray edition, and then they brought out the 4K at the same time. Again, audio on it, exactly the same audio. I think it's a 5.1 mix, 5.1 DTS master audio. So you're not getting anything extra there. The only thing you're getting extra on the 4K disc is HDR. And I believe maybe that was only HDR10. I may be wrong. It might be at my vision as well. Anyway, popped this on, upscaled it, and it looks absolutely fantastic. And it was half the price. In fact, I think it was less than half the price. I think this was about £6 to £7 when I bought it, whereas I think the 4K was about £20. Now that's a huge amount, and my advice to you is, if you're looking to get into 4K, and I'm not saying this is for all 4Ks, there are some fantastic 4Ks that have been done and are definitely worth the money. Especially if you like collector's editions with all the bump, all the tat box, you know, the extra box and all the rest of it. It certainly is a wonderful format, but when done right, and you have to weigh up whether it's a film that you love. Do you want the extras? Are you willing to pay the premium price? But when you're dealing with sort of transfers or editions like this, where you get a nice slipcase cover, you get the Blu-ray compared to the 4K, which probably have a similar design, maybe just a 4K banner at the top. Are you really getting value for money? Another company which tends to have these restorations is Arrow. And we're talking literally about this release, RoboCop. Now again, Arrow did go through a period where they were releasing the special editions, this being the Blu-ray edition of the film, and then 6 to 12 months later they were then bringing out the 4K edition, exactly the same packaging, art cards, booklet and all the rest of it. The only difference being was that the film would be on a 4K disc. Now again, that particular film, RoboCop, looks great on Blu-ray. It was a remaster from the original version that we got back in the day. So again, it was a lot cheaper for essentially the same thing. So again, it makes you question whether, sometimes are these editions worth it? So, I'd be interested to hear your thoughts in the comments. Have you experienced this? There are any other films that you've noticed that the Blu-ray is as good as the 4K? Certainly with more modern films, I think we're seeing this, that because films are shot digitally, the Blu-ray looks nearly as good as the 4K, minus that implementation. One thing I've noticed that studios will do is they won't put an immersive audio on the Blu-ray, but they will put it on the 4K. Hence, you'll get a 5.1 mix or possibly a 7.1 mix on the Blu-ray, but you'll get an Atmos or a DTS X immersive soundtrack on the 4K. So again, you have to weigh up Do you have the equipment to do this? I am fortunate enough that I do have that. So I look at these releases and think, well, you know, that's giving me an extra benefit to paying a bit more of a premium price. However, there are some companies, and Warner Brothers are certainly going to be doing this on the new Twisters release. The Blu-ray that's coming out is actually going to have an Atmos track on it, as does the 4K. But the only thing you're not going to get with the Blu-ray is the HDR. But again, in my setup, I can buy the Blu-ray, upscale it, and I'm sure the picture quality will look fantastic and will sound fantastic for a fraction of the price. Me personally, I'm not going to probably pick that up on pre-order, but I will wait for a price drop. I didn't think the film was as good as the original, but now knowing that the Blu-ray has the Atmos track on it, I'm prepared to wait 4 to 6 months for a price drop. Probably get it around the sort of £7 to £8 mark. Have a decent disc to watch. Okay, it's not a 4K disc, but because it's shot digitally and it's a modern film and it's got the immersive soundtrack on it, you're getting pretty much the same experience, or nearly the same experience, that you would if paying double on the 4K set. Yes, there's a nice steelbook coming out for it, but I'm at a stage now in my collecting where I'm kind of thinking I've really got to justify to myself, is this really worth the upgrade, paying that extra more for special editions? And I'm not saying that I won't pick up special editions. I do have the Twister special edition on pre-order. A, because I love the film. B, because the extras in it are different to the extras that I have in certain other editions. And yeah, I'll be interested to see what the 4K transfer will look like. I do have the German Turbine edition, which I may sort of pass on. I'm not sure at the moment, but I have a French edition, which is a different set. It's got different things in it, so I'm prepared in that case to sort of make the leap and pay the little bit extra for those extras. But yeah, definitely being more selective with my choices. So like I say, I'll be interested to hear your thoughts in the comments. What do you think on this? Do you feel sometimes these sort of studios are just basically, with these modern films, they're sort of basically putting the transfer that's on the Blu-ray, putting it onto the 4K disc with a little bit of HDR extra information on there, but pretty much the soundtrack is the same, but you're paying double the amount. So are they making a lot of money out of something that's, I don't know, I don't want to say a gimmick, but is it always as sort of clear cut that it's far superior experience to a Blu-ray? Anyway, just a little ramble on my thoughts on this. As I say, I'm no expert in this. It's just my thoughts, and just sharing them. And I think everyone is conscious that the price of physical media, certainly in the last couple of years, has increased, and I think we're all looking at sales and ways to save money on this hobby. It can be an expensive hobby, but we all love movies and we want to enjoy the experience. And it's just a little something for food for thought, for anyone sort of thinking about 4K, doesn't really know a lot about it. Don't dismiss Blu-ray. Don't even dismiss DVD, because DVDs still have 5.1 tracks on. Okay, the picture quality is not as good as a Blu-ray, although modern films, again, still look very good on DVD. And if your budget can only, you can only buy DVDs, then, there's nothing wrong in it. I'm fortunate in a position that I can pick and choose which ones I want, whether I go for 4K, Blu-ray or DVD. But yeah, anyway, enough of me chatting on now. Thanks for watching the video. Please give us a thumbs up. And as I say, pop down in the comments your thoughts on this subject. See you next time. Bye now.